Hello and welcome back to Make It Yappin'.
Hello!
I'm Bethany and this is Shan.
Hi, Beth.
Shan, babe, what's your advice for the week?
So my advice for the week is, if an opportunity arises, absolutely 100% take it. However, do not be scared to bin it off if it's really not working for you.
Hell yeah. Great advice.
And what's your advice this week, my love?
My advice is, if you can't be a good example, be a great fucking warning.
Do you know what? Sound advice that.
Let's get into it.
Absolutely.
Right, today I want to talk about fat people.
Oh yeah.
And the fact that we are two
Voluptuous women.
very voluptuous, sexy, curvaceous women.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I think people forget that being fat and being sexy could go hand in hand. Because if it's not true, then, like, I'm here and I'm existing. What do you mean you can't be fat and sexy? Look at me.
Have you seen me?
Have you seen me? Oh my God, how dare you say I'm not sexy?
I think there's a massive thing with, well, Christ, there's loads of points that we can cover here, but it's often hard to feel sexy when you're fat.
It is. It is hard to feel sexy when you're fat. And I think that kind of comes about when you're developing. Like, I think the first time that I really kind of clocked that I was fat was when I actually wasn't fat.
Yes.
You know, I look back and I'm like, well, that was a lie, wasn't it? That we told ourselves at 16 that we were fat.
Yeah.
We weren't fat. Jesus, we were 16 and just weird shaped.
Exactly. Exactly. I remember thinking exactly the same thing around a similar age. And especially when people start making comments about stretch marks and stuff and you genuinely believe that you are fat and you're literally not. Like, I've looked back at old pictures of me. I'm not fat.
No.
I just had hips when other people didn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't actually fat though.
Exactly. You had an ass. You had tits.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's literally it. And I find it really funny because this is going to sound strange, I feel fatter, or felt fatter, when I was 16 than what I do now, even though I've got, like, 4 stone on 16-year-old me. Maybe even a little bit more. Probably, actually, yeah, definitely a bit more. Shit.
Yeah.
But the way that I felt about my body was so hateful. Whereas now, it's quite interesting because I've got to a point now where I feel very neutral about my body. I don't hate it at all.
That's a really good place to be in, actually.
Yeah, I feel quite privileged. I think when you grow up in an environment which, by the way, I'm not saying this is a unique experience whatsoever, but when you grow up in an environment where everyone around you is, I guess, counting calories and being very weight conscious, and I'm not talking about, like, my household, I'm talking about, like, just in general, like, being
like
at
your
school.
peers.
Yeah, your peers. Like, we grew up in early 2000s, back end of cocaine chic,
Yes.
Y2K, low-rise jeans,
Yeah.
skinny bitch, ED encouraging society. Like, that's what we grew up in.
Yeah.
So, like, people like you and me, Shan, did not have, like, a cat in hell's chance of being the body type that we strive for.
No. Absolutely not.
No, not at all.
No. I think I was always seen as a bigger girl, which is just baffling to me now looking back because I simply wasn't. I still had a relatively flat stomach then.
Yeah.
And I was still seen as a bigger girl. So it just felt like a losing battle anyway, no matter what weight I was going to be, because I am built kind of wide anyway.
I'm built different.
I'm built kind of wide anyway. I feel like people are always just going to see me as a big girl.
Yeah.
But now I actually am a big girl because I am actually fat now. So, which I don't fucking mind it. I go through phases of hating it.
Yeah.
And then phases of being like, fuck it, like I care, and being quite free with it. But it's a hell of a battle to get there. I do think it's because of the mentality that we grew up on the back of, like you were saying. You know, especially like the low-rise jeans and crop tops and all that stuff. That was never going to happen for me.
You know what would happen if, like, I wore low-rise jeans now and a crop top? All you'd literally be able to see is my tits and stomach, because my tits would hang out the bottom and my stomach would hang out the top.
Oh, 100%. Yes, babe. Yes, yeah. Which isn't a great look.
No, it's just not an item of clothing for me. Other people could pull it off spectacularly. I don't think I'm one of them.
No, I wouldn't say that I also fit in that category either, you know?
Yeah.
But I think a huge thing that me and you have done, because we've sat together and done it, is comparing ourselves to old pictures.
Oh my god, yeah. I look back at pictures when I was like 19 and had one chin.
God, remember them days.
And it wasn't just one chin, I could actually see my jawline. Not seen her for a couple of years now, she's got lost somewhere. But that's fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with changing. And I think, like, being fat is catastrophised is, like, the worst thing that can happen to your looks. But you know what? It's really funny, actually, because we're getting to a point, or I've got to a point now where I'm alright with being fat. And you know what's going to happen? I'm going to get fucking wrinkles. I have a breakdown about looking old. So what's going to happen now? And you know what's even funnier is the fact that fat is nature's Botox, right? If I lose weight, am I going to be a wrinkly bitch? I think about that all the time. Am I going to look like a ball bag?
Yeah, props. Like, yeah. I'm shit-feared of that as well.
I've just got to keep eating then. There's nothing for it. Fuck the gym.
Fuck the gym. My insulation is making me smooth. Right?
Yeah, it is.
So fucking leave it out. I think it's just a really easy pit to fall in when you're looking at old pictures of yourself and looking at pictures of yourself now. In that you start thinking that you're lesser than you were.
Yeah.
That you've fallen off. But the thing is, and we take the piss and we say, oh fucking hell, I've aged like milk. Right, okay, fine. But like, there was an instance, well, very, very recently, we were at a Meeting Place gig, and they've taken portrait photos of the crowd.
Oh, I love those ones of you. I absolutely loved them.
When I first saw them, because I think Becca tagged me in them,
yeah,
I was like, oh, fuck me.
Yeah.
Right? And then I've got like a widget on my phone that shows old pictures of me. Or old pictures just in general.
Yes.
But like a lot of old pictures sometimes crop up of me.
Yeah.
And I look at them and it's like, fuck me, that's bleak. But I was looking at the ones that were taken very recently. And I came off it and my widget was up and it was an old picture of me when I was living in Keppel Street.
Oh, yeah.
So this is like 5 years ago.
Oh, it's more than that, babe.
Something like that, innit? Oh, God.
It's more like 7.
Oh, surely not.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Bleak, anyway. So, and I was like, hang on a minute. And I took a minute and I thought, do you know what? At that time, like however many years ago it was,
yeah,
I was in the worst mental place I've ever been in my life.
Yeah.
And then I looked at the pictures that were taken. Okay, yeah, I look fucking huge on them. But, in my eyes I do.
Right, yeah.
But, it was pictures of me in that crowd being happy as fuck watching my husband in a band.
Yeah.
And I was like, do you know what? I actually fucking love these pictures now.
That's it. I remember you saying actually about your wedding photos specifically. There's one where you and Jord are stood and you're about to get married, or you are getting married, or you've put... No, I think it's when you're about to like read your vows to one another, or you have done, right?
Yeah.
And it's you giggling and you've got a double chin, right?
Yeah, mega double chin.
But it's so cute. It's so cute. I absolutely love it. And I love the fact that you turned around and went, normally I'd hate these, but this was like one of the happiest moments of my life.
Yep.
And it's really cute, and you can see how happy I am, and I absolutely love the photo.
Yeah.
So I think it brings like an entirely different meaning when you're fat and happy.
Yeah, actually it does. Do you know what? Is that not the whole crack to this episode? Are you happy in your life? Does it fucking matter that you're carrying a bit more weight? Does it really? No.
If the price to pay of being happy
is your mental health.
Is your mental health and being a bit fatter, then you know what? It's probably worth it.
Yeah.
You know, we're living in the age now where we've kind of come full circle, because there was a lot of like, obviously like, curvy acceptance probably
a few years ago now,
a few years ago. It was probably back end of college, maybe uni.
Yeah.
The rise of Kim K and BBLs.
Yeah.
Made curvy sexy. People like Ashley Graham who were getting like massive model slots.
Yeah.
Now, you know, it kind of normalised different bodies for a bit, and that was really cool. But now we're seeing like the rise of Ozempic.
Yeah.
And it's kind of not put things backwards. I think it has in some aspects, but also like we've seen this cyclical thing of thin bodies becoming trendy again, which means fat is out, babe.
Yeah,
fat is out. She's out. You will not find anything to wear.
No, yeah.
We're not getting catered for anymore. It's lose the weight or wear tents, I guess.
Yeah.
Or like unsexy clothing. But yeah, like, and I think about Ozempic, and I think about like the people that I know that are on it, or Mounjaro, or Wegovy, or insert whatever weight loss drug here. And I think about that, and you know, the only people that I know that are on it are fucking thinner than me.
Yeah, like so much thinner than me, though.
So much thinner. Yeah. I look at the people who are taking like all these like things like Ozempic or Mounjaro, Wegovy, or whatever, and I look at them and think, shit. You're my target weight. If I was ever going to lose weight, you're my target weight, and you want to get thinner than that?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's scary because then it kind of puts in your head, holy shit, I should be on it 2 times then. Because I should be injecting twice a day then. Because I've got to be double your body weight. And also it also makes you think, what does that person think of me?
Yes.
If they think that they're fat, they must think I'm a fucking whale. That's what goes. I know that they don't necessarily.
No.
But that does go through my head.
Oh yeah, I think about that a lot. I think the only way that I've kind of rationalised with that is when I've talked to people who I'm friends with, or people that I know who have eating disorders, and we've kind of gone toe to toe on that.
Yeah.
Because there was a time in my life where I always get personally offended over whenever someone who was thinner than me said they were so fat, because I'm just like, you are visibly thinner than me.
Yeah.
So you saying that in front of me, how do you think that's going to make me feel? But the truth is, it's got nothing to do with me. It's all to do with them and the way that they see themselves.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that over the years. The only thing that's given me perspective on that, aside from obviously like having these conversations with people who have had eating disorders or who are, I guess, like still dealing with that, is the fact that I look back on old photos and think, I thought I was fat as fuck there.
Yeah.
I thought I was so fat.
Yeah.
And that is like, again, my target weight now. So, I mean, I'm guilty of it because there was a time where I was thin once. There was.
Once upon a time.
So yeah, that's the thing that's given me perspective over that point in general. Because I think it is easy to turn around and say, oh, I'm so fat, blah, blah, blah. Now when I look at myself, I don't really feel anything. If I'm wearing a great outfit, I'm just like, fuck yeah, I look well good.
Hell yeah.
But in terms of, like, fatness, I just kind of forget about it until somebody points it out, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know whether you've ever had that, where someone's kind of sort of made it aware to you how you look.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. And I think it's often packaged up in this bubble of, I'm concerned for you because you've put so much weight on.
Yeah.
That's usually when it's pointed out to me. And, you know, it's an interesting way to go about it. So, you know, thank you for your concern. However, you know, I've been to medical professionals about various things. Nothing is ever said about my weight. I'm not diabetic, so I'm not in any sort of danger of, you know, being medically ill with it or anything. The only reason for me to lose weight is to just get around easier. Well, like, lad, I cannot breathe. But I think that's more to do with smoking than it is being fat, to be perfectly honest with you. But, so it's weird to me when people package it up in this level of concern, because I'm like, you are literally not a medical professional.
Yeah.
Don't come out with shit like that. If there's something wrong with me, I'm going to go to a doc. I'm not coming to you for it. Yeah. When did you get your medical degree, Bab?
Yeah, where's your PhD at?
Yeah.
Missed your graduation.
I know, why is that not on the wall, love?
You're a nutritionist.
Yeah.
Since when?
Yeah, fuck off. Alright, I didn't ask you. If I was concerned and I wanted to speak about it, then I'd come to you and speak about it. Do not fucking bring it up with me. There's nothing wrong with me.
Yeah.
I'm just fat.
Yeah.
Fucking...
I just like food. I do. Yeah. And the gym is a pain in the ass. So, yeah. I mean, truthfully, hand on heart, if I'm thinking about Ozempic and I'm thinking about all that, have I considered it? Yeah. Of course. Am I still considering it? Yeah.
Yeah. I can't say that I'm not.
Yeah.
Because I've thought about
it. I can't turn around and be like this fat advocate and, I'm a hypocrite. Yeah. I'm sat here and I'm like, yeah, I'm thinking about it. You're telling me that there's a golden ticket to being thinner.
Mm.
And I don't have to do anything. You're joking.
You've just got to inject and shit yourself a little bit and not eat as much.
And half of us have IBS anyway, so like, it's not new.
No, exactly. It's fine.
So, I do think about it, and when you hear prices of like, oh, it's costing me £200 a month, and it's like, right, but a PT, a gym membership, and a nutritionist...
Way more than that.
Is way more than that. And you've actually got to fucking go. Yeah. And you've got to be miserable.
Yeah.
Because you're in a calorie deficit.
Yep.
And be grumpy.
And weak.
Like, yeah, and weak and tired.
Yeah.
And you've got to think about shit. Like, it's
and also, is the weight going to stay off when you're back in a normal life?
Yeah.
Fuck knows, dunno.
Can't say I've tried it. Like,
but I mean, then again, that's a question with Ozempic and Manjaro and stuff like that, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is the weight really going to stay off? I don't know.
Don't
Am I just naturally meant to be like this? Potentially.
Is it the worst thing in the world? No. It isn't. This is the thing, like, I've, like, wrestled with, how I should look for so long that you end up just giving up and you just think, fuck it, I'm here. And you know what? It doesn't matter if I weigh 5 more stone or if I lose 5 stone. Like, I still think I'm pretty. Like, I can't be that bad looking. Surely not. Yeah. I don't think.
No, mate. You're stunning, my love.
Thank you. So are you. You're married, so you're fine.
Yeah. I only needed to bag one. That was fine.
Exactly. But yeah, like like I say, I've wrestled with it for so long that I sometimes think like, oh, who fucking cares? And the thing is that whenever somebody has ever made me feel insecure about my weight, which doesn't happen very often now, I'm quite impervious to it, like, because I just think it's like child's play. Like, why are you making me feel weird about being fat?
Yeah, it's usually a them problem though, isn't it?
100% of them problem. It is them projecting.
Yeah.
And if that is the worst thing that you can think of someone being, oh my god, you've got bigger fish to fry. Like, there's so many worse things than being fat.
Yeah. If the worst thing in your mind is being fat, then you are in the 1% most privileged people in the fucking world.
Oh yeah, definitely. But then again, yeah, I am a hypocrite though, because I have considered Ozempic. I am still considering it because sometimes I wish that there weren't people who were like that. I think the reason why I'd probably try Ozempic if I ever did is to just shift a little bit of weight.
Yeah.
So that maybe, like, I wouldn't feel that as often if someone did project it. But like I say, it doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, I think a big thing in my mind is what would it be like to be conventionally attractive, because I've never been. Yes,
or at least I think I've never been. I look back at photos of when I was 19. I could have ruled the world.
Yeah.
I could have done.
Could have had it
and
all.
I didn't. And you know what? Everyone should be fucking grateful for that.
You would have been insufferable.
I would have been. I was bad enough anyway. My ego would have been absolutely insane if I realised how attractive I was.
I think that but by each standard, each phase of my life, whatever the standard was at the time, I was not conventionally attractive enough for it.
Yes.
So I would just, there is a part of me that thinks, what would it be like to be conventionally attractive, and would life just be fucking easier in terms of how you get along in society, how you get along with people, in terms of opportunities that arise.
Not even stuff like work or whatever, or networking and things like that. People do treat you better when they find you attractive, whether it's conscious or unconscious.
That's very true.
It is.
That is very true. And I think that when people find you conventionally attractive, they speak to you in a nicer way.
Yeah.
They want to be around you as well. And I think that this is why, I don't know if you feel like this, but I've always felt the pressure, and maybe this is why I have the personality that I have, to be the fucking funny one. One of the lads.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I think about that, if I lose weight, does this mean I won't be funny anymore? Will I lose it? Will I lose it?
I'll lose my spark.
Like, what then? I can't have it all. Come on.
Because we found, we found the niche.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that we fit into, and I think that, you know, people like being around us and stuff. I'd like to think that anyway.
Yeah.
But I do think that comes from, at least my humour definitely comes from the fact that I just wasn't happy in my body growing up. Yeah,
because it's that whole thing is like, you know, you gotta laugh otherwise you'll cry.
Yeah.
Like, it is 100% that. And yeah, probably being funny is a coping mechanism, probably has been bred from that. Because how else? I think I did actually think about that, you know, when I was a teenager. I'm like, well, I've not got my looks, even though I did. Yeah. I absolutely did. But in my head I was like, I've not got my looks, so I've got to come up with something else to make people gravitate towards me. Yeah. And 100% it was try to be funny.
It was like the age-old joke, isn't it? Oh, well, she's got a lovely personality. But you know what? Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
That is my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is 100% something that has come across, like, my mind. Definitely. 100%. I always used to compensate personality-wise, because I was just like, well, like I say, if I can't win them over with my looks, I've got to be funny, I've got to be charming, I've got to be all these things. And that crux of it was probably bred off the fact of being fat.
Yeah. Big time.
Do you ever think about the fact that we've launched a podcast, and it's probably because we thought we were fat when we were teenagers?
Oh, lad! Probably, mate, yeah.
That's quite sad, actually.
This is why we have voices for radio. That's not even the saying, it's faces for radio.
We've also got voices for radio. And if you'd like to tune in with Bethany and Shan, you can listen to us every week on We Make It Yappin'.
That was the most sex-line voice I've ever heard.
It's dead funny because I've got a cold, so all you'll be able to hear is me sniffing after that.
Yeah.
Yummy. But back to the pod. To the pod.
Yes.
I think as well, an interesting thing that I've come across as I've got older is how fat people are viewed in a sexual way.
Yeah.
And the misconceptions and preconceptions that surround that. I know on one of the episodes we delved into me going on the dating apps. In probably like my early to mid-20s. And one of the things that I used to get as an assumption quite a lot was that because I was bigger, guys used to think that I was really dominating. And I'm actually not like that. Without going into, like, obviously too much detail.
Yeah.
But I'm not aggressive or, like, dominating. I'm not domineering in any sort of way.
No.
So for people to I think people make that assumption very easily about fat people, especially, like, fatter, shorter, curvy women, big boobs, or especially if they're a bit old as well.
Yeah.
That they're gonna be domineering.
Yeah.
Which isn't true for me. However, there's somebody else that I'm sat with.
Yeah. I kind of fit that stereotype because I am quite dominating in personality and in various aspects of my life. You know. So that's difficult because I think that a lot of parts of me then just feel masculine.
Yeah.
And so it's difficult when you're fat and a little bit dominating and a little bit and alternative as well.
Yeah.
It's sometimes quite difficult to feel feminine in that.
Yes.
And that can be a bit of a head fuck as well. But I think the moral of the tale really is just that you can't let other people's or society's generalizations and opinions then start defining who you are. I know that I'm very feminine. There are parts of me that are very feminine. There are parts of me that are very masculine.
Yeah.
They are married together inside me in a very lovely way. And that makes me who I am.
Yes.
And that's why Jard loves me. I assume that's why my friends like me as well, because of the combination. I love you. But it's really difficult when you do kind of fall into a stereotype.
You're like, oh, people are on about me.
Oh, that'll be me then. So, I don't know. It's a difficult one, but I think finding a comfortability in it and a happiness in it is key.
Yeah.
No matter how you do that.
Exactly. For me, the way that I dealt with it is just by telling guys to fuck off and to stop, trying to fetishise me. I think I've said that right. Oh, a difficult word to say over the pod, I have to say.
It is a mad one though, because there's just two sides to the coin when you're fat. Either you're repulsive,
oh yeah,
or you've got people that are like highly sexually driven by you.
Ooh.
And neither is good.
Neither is good.
Can I just have something in between?
Both of them make me feel weird and a bit disgusting. Like I don't like, obviously, when people turn around and say you're fat and that's gross. That makes me feel sad. Obviously.
It's a fucking ridiculous opinion to have, and you need to get a grip if you've got that opinion.
Yeah. But also the other end of the spectrum is like, again, having like a fat fetish and wanting to be with me because I might be fat, or you want to, I guess, jiggle parts of me. That makes me feel horrendous.
Fuck all the way off.
Yeah. I mean, if you're into that, fine. It is if you're a fat person and you're into that.
In a consenting way.
In a consenting way. That's absolutely fine.
We're not kink shaming on this podcast.
No, we're not. No. At all. But I will not be partaking in that.
Yeah, please leave me out of that.
I do not want to be jiggled.
No, thank you. Don't want to feel like a Pokemon at my most vulnerable point. Thank you.
God. So yeah. But then again as well, like there's other aspects of being fat. Like you've got people who are feeders as well, that kind of fall into like it's a sexual thing and they want to like keep feeding somebody so that they fatten them up, and that's weird. But then I think you can also be a feeder from a like nourishing perspective as well. Like it's like a love language thing. Yeah, like especially people who really enjoy cooking in order to, like feed their friends or whatever, and it's a way to look after the people that they love. Yeah. And that's a fucking lovely thing to do. Yeah. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. No, not at all. But I think if we're talking about the fetishization of fat people, again, easy for me to say, I cannot say that word. I think that's where it becomes a problem. So I'd watched this, I suppose, like TikTok series. Yeah. From a lass who had ended up sort of in the feeder community. Oh. I don't know if it was an accident or something, but and she had people sort of paying her to get her to the point where she was immobile. Christ. I know. And that part of it is where I said I wasn't going to kink shame on the podcast, but that's where I fucking draw the line. Yeah. I think that's because at that point it's really feeding into like an unhealthy relationship with your own body and an unhealthy relationship with food, and it almost feels early death. Yeah, it almost feels like violence in a way, because it's literally killing somebody if you're doing that to that extent. Yeah, it's absolutely nuts. it is. It's crazy. But yeah,
there's a line in between sort of you can look after yourself and be healthy and still be fat. So just fucking leave us alone.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. I mean,
you know,
literally, like my relationship with food, for example, has been. Obviously, I think like everybody, I don't think it's a unique experience for me to turn around and say that it's had its ups and downs. I've never had an eating disorder, but I've definitely had disordered eating. Especially when I've been more stressed. I definitely emotionally eat. I don't know why this has turned into confession. You don't need to know all this about me, but I guess it makes me relatable in some way. That, like, yeah, sometimes I have emotion. I say sometimes. It happens, yeah. I emotionally eat. I eat like Henry VIII when I get stressed out. I will eat. It is like steaks, red wine.
Oh, yeah.
Fish. But, like, I'm talking, like, big prawns.
Big
prawns. And, like, olive oil and pasta and fucking...
Oh, that sounds good.
chicken wings. Like,
sounds great.
Yeah. And I'll cook that for myself. This is the thing, like, I will try... If I could not have takeaways, then I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Currently, because of my situation, living-wise, it makes it kind of difficult, and I have relied on them a bit more heavily than I'd like to at the moment.
Yeah.
However, when I have my own space, love cooking. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, you really enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's like
I love it. It's
a safe space for you kind of thing.
It is. It's therapy. It's like mindfulness. It feels like it's so nice to create something and like to put effort into it, and then you get to eat it at the end. How sick's that? Again, because I love food, which is predictable, obviously, because I'm fat. Like, it's that saying, isn't it? It's like, yeah, you never trust a skinny chef.
Oh, no.
Like...
No. You don't enjoy food, babe.
No, exactly. So, yeah, I absolutely love cooking, and there's definitely, like, an element of me relying on it when I get more stressed because it is an escape for me. But in turn, obviously, the stuff that I cook, I want to cook nice things myself. I'm not going to sit there and fucking cook I'm not going to sit there and cook gruel, effectively. I don't eat for sustenance.
No.
I eat because it tastes fucking good, and I want it to taste good. And you know what makes things taste good? Fat and sugar.
Yeah, babe.
Yeah.
That's the way it is.
You won't catch me with fucking sweetener. Like, what's that I don't even know what it's called. This is the thing. Does not exist in my house. What's that thing called? It's like the specific sweetener that you put in food.
Oh, lad, I don't know. Fucking Canderel? I don't know.
Yeah. That one. Never heard of her. No, don't know
who she is.
Don't know who she is. Wouldn't know her if I fell over her. Like, literally,
it's not even that much better for you anyway.
No, is it? Fuck.
'Cause it's just full of additives and shit like that.
Exactly.
So, whatever.
Everything in moderation, obviously. As a fat person as well, by the way, I do eat a lot of fruit and veg. Obviously, I eat a lot. That's kind of the point. But I also don't move enough either. That's part of the issue.
That comes with part and parcel of working a desk job, I think.
Yeah, there is that as well.
I've got so much fatter since doing desk jobs.
Oh, hell aye. Yeah. It's not good for you. Like,
it's not.
What we've gone from, like, being told when we were younger, get your head out your phone, get off the computer, go outside, play, to sitting at a desk job for 8 hours a day, and somehow everyone's like, oh, wonder why I've got back problems. Yeah. Wonder why I've put on 2 stone in a year.
I wonder why I'm 25 with sciatica.
Yeah. Like, it's because you're not doing anything all day, you just sat at a computer. Anyway, I sound like a boomer. But back to the food thing. Like, I mean, I know you've talked about, like, takeaways and stuff and, like, your relationship with takeaways.
Yeah, so my relationship with food's fucking weird anyway, but I adore food.
Yeah.
But I absolutely detest cooking. So I'm the total opposite of you. I don't want to stand there and cook for an hour and then eat a meal that takes 10 minutes, because I do fucking hoof food down anyways. I'm more like my mum in the fact that if I could take a pill that had all the nutritional value that I needed for the day, I absolutely fucking would. And then I'd just, like, eat some of the stuff that I like.
Oh, where is the joy in life,
I know.
Shan?
I just fucking hate cooking that much. And food relates a lot to my mental health. So if I actually cook, like, home cooked meals, I'm in a pretty good mental place.
Yeah.
Yes, I still find it a chore, but it's not absolutely devastating to do, you know?
Yeah.
But, like, Jordan and I will go through periods where we order a lot of takeaways, and, like, I know that behind closed doors, me and Jordan are known as, like, the takeaway people, and it's looked down on. Which is fine. Whatever. You can judge me all you want. But the thing is, both me and Jord work 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
We're fucking knackered. Then we go to the gym.
Yeah.
Then we have to have a social life. Then we have to, we go see family and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot on. Jord's in bands. We're doing the podcast. There's just a fucking lot on.
Your cat.
My cat. I have a cat. It's my child. So there's a lot on, and when it's when cooking isn't something that you enjoy doing, you see it as another task to do.
Yeah.
You simply don't fucking do it. And when you're in a bad headspace, it is the fucking last thing that you want to do. And so I don't sometimes. Yeah. All right, we got to a point where we were having like 3 takeaways a week, and I know that'll repulse a lot of people and be like, fucking hell, that's minging. Do you know what? I don't care.
Yeah.
Ask me if I care. I don't.
Do you care?
No, babe. And we're in a much better place now, because like I'm in a much healthier mental space now, but it's took me years to get there.
Yeah.
So I am cooking homemade meals now most nights a week, which I'm very proud of myself for. I'm still not fucking enjoying it, but I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And we've got the gym and stuff like that. So it's not that we're unhealthy. So again, there's a moral of the tale there. Don't fucking judge people for their eating habits.
No.
And don't fucking discuss it either.
You know, this is
unless it's with them.
Yeah, this has made me think of something actually that one of my friends who I've had a conversation with her recently. She's had an eating disorder.
Yeah.
And she said she fucking hates it, quite obviously, when someone is talking about the food that she's eating.
Yeah.
When she's eating it. Or even before she's eating it, because it puts her off entirely.
Yeah.
And sometimes I do think about that when it comes to other people, because you don't know what's going on in somebody's head.
You do not. No.
You don't. And the last thing I ever want to do is pass judgment onto somebody and their eating habits. It's got nothing to do with me. It's got absolutely nothing to do with me. And I think as I've grown older, I think what fucked me off when I was younger was that I'd always see skinnier people than me who would eat absolute fucking garbage and they wouldn't put weight on. Whereas, like, my mum especially drove home the fact that, like, you will eat your veggies. You'll eat your fruit and your veggies. And it didn't matter how many, like, fruits or veggies that I ate and I didn't eat. I wasn't allowed crisps when I was, like, a lot, like, very young. Yeah. But I would always put on weight. I'd always be bigger. Yeah. And it's so interesting now as an adult seeing that, because it just goes to show that it doesn't matter what someone puts in their fucking body. Their body will decide whether they're skinny or fat.
Yeah, it's going to do what it's going to do.
It absolutely is. It's that whole thing of, like, if me and you had the same diet, it would be completely different. It would look completely different on both of our bodies.
Absolutely.
You know?
I mean, I was raised very similar to you in that my diet was incredibly healthy growing up. Sometimes I would go to school and just have a fruit and veg day. Like, I didn't even have a sandwich or anything. Yeah. Because I actually fully enjoyed that. I mean, I was raised vegetarian as well. Yeah. So I had a really balanced diet because I had to. Yeah. And I was still the fat one. Yeah. So, and do you know what I used to get as a kid? I don't know if you got this a lot. That's just popped into my head. Oh, it's only puppy fat, you'll lose it.
Oh my God, all the time.
Do you know what? That is one of the worst things that you can say to a fucking child. Yeah. Don't fucking say that. Yeah. All you need to say to your kid is, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the way your body looks. You're healthy.
Yeah, exactly. You're healthy, you're breathing, you're fit.
You've got one body that's going to get you through this life and get you through, and that you're going to experience life with one body, right? Yeah. Love it. Respect it. It's okay to look the way that you do. Exactly. As long as, you know, you haven't got a feeder in your life that's like, you know, you get into immobility or whatever. As long as you don't feel limited in yourself, yeah, you're fine. Exactly that. You know what I think we should also touch on as well? We talked about it a lot from our perspectives, but I think our perspectives are a lot different because we're women. Yeah. There's a lot of misogyny around it as well. Which is a whole different topic. Yeah, a whole different topic. But yeah, there's definitely misogyny that's linked with fat phobia. Yeah. In women. I think what's interesting is when I've heard the views of men. Because we have a lot of guy friends that are even, you know, relationships that we've been in where they're conscious of their bodies. But in a way that, like, I don't even
think about it in the way that they're thinking about it.
Yeah.
A lot of guys that we know, like, are afraid to take their tops off, for example, if they're going swimming or whatever, for fear of, like, especially the top half of the bodies. I don't think they're as bothered about the stomachs.
No, I don't think they are.
But, like, it's more like the top half, like the chest area, that they're bothered about if there's too much fat there.
I think I would say probably stomach upwards that they're bothered about. Especially, like, I mean, this is true in women as well. If you've got a bit of overhang,
oh, yeah.
immediately a problem.
Yeah.
And shirts have got to cover everything.
Yeah.
Or just clothing has to cover everything. And I think that there are men that we know that also feel like that. And they feel lesser than other guys around them simply because their body looks different.
Yeah. That fucking sucks because you know what? I like a curvy guy. I do.
I fucking love it, mate.
I love it. They're soft.
Yeah.
And they look great.
You need something to hold at night, am I right?
But in the same breath, like, there's nothing wrong with being really skinny.
No, there isn't.
As a guy.
Not
There's nothing wrong with being really muscular.
No.
Unless you're telling me that I need to go to the gym, in which case, fuck off.
Yeah, shut your mouth. You look good, but you don't sound great. Shut up.
So yeah, it's so interesting to me because I never think about what guys look like, if that makes sense. Like, I don't value men on how much weight they have on them or don't have on them.
Absolutely not.
And so it's so weird when somebody might project onto me, and it's always guys, you know, like, women, I feel like, know what the shared struggle is.
They do. I think that there are plenty of women that do look down on fat women.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But they seem to voice it a lot less.
Yes.
Whereas men are fucking bold as brass.
Yeah.
When they tell you how fat you are.
Yeah.
Women will give you a look.
Yeah.
But they tend not to say anything, or if they do, it's in a very, very veiled backhander.
Exactly, because to be honest, like, every woman I know has thought that she's fat at some point when she's not fat. Not every guy I know has thought he's fat. No. But every woman.
I think every woman that I know has had body issues, no matter whether it's fatness or whatever it is.
Yes.
They've hated their body in some way. Yeah. Not every guy I know has hated their body in some way.
Exactly.
So I think that it's important for us to take into account the opinions of the guys that do have body image issues. Yeah, because
I don't think it's talked about as much with them either, which fucking sucks.
I don't think I've actually seen, and this might just be me leading a sheltered life, but I don't think I've actually seen like a male body positive model. Whereas I've seen lots of women. Yeah. Lots and lots of plus size women. But plus size male models are so fucking few and far between, and they're only on very specific websites.
I was about to say, I've seen plus size male models, but they're on stuff like Jacamo,
and
for example.
There's I want to say, I can count on one hand how many websites there are.
Yeah.
For plus size guys.
Yeah.
Which is fucking, what is that about?
Yeah, because I'm not being funny, like, I know a lot of plus size guys.
Yeah.
You know?
I do.
Bless them, I know a lot of plus size guys who still think they're a medium. You're not, babe. Just size up.
Just level up. It's okay.
It's okay. Just
also,
wear stuff that fits.
Yeah. Also, big lesson for absolutely everybody, men and women.
Yeah.
Clothes are meant to fit you. You're not meant to fit in clothes. Yeah. By the way.
Yeah. That was a hard lesson to learn. I think.
Really difficult one to really get in your head. It is.
Especially since now, I feel like this could be me just gaslighting myself. So just hear me out on this. Okay. I feel like, depending on what bodies, and I say this in quotation marks, bodies are trending right now, whether it's thin or fat, will depend on whether you can fit into certain numbers on clothes or certain letters, if that makes sense. Yeah. So I feel like when plus size sort of bodies were curvy bodies were trending, I feel like sizing was more inclusive, and I feel like the sizing was a lot more forgiving. Whereas now, because thin is back in fashion, I don't feel like the sizing is as forgiving. And I'm not just saying this because I'm somebody who's plus sized. I genuinely think it's harder to find clothes in your size.
It's harder. It's really difficult right now to find anything beyond a 16.
Yeah. But even if you found like an 18 or whatever, it'd be like a small 18. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Don't fit right.
Yeah, it don't fit right. And it's not because I put on weight. It's because
If anything, I've like lost it recently.
I think it's literally just because more brands are wanting to be seen on skinnier people because that's what's in fashion right now.
Yeah.
I think that's what's it. So, like, you got no control over that. Like,
No.
we're fucked on that regard. So you just may as well just buy the size that you fit into.
That's comfortable.
I've sized up oh my God, I've got clothes, right, bearing in mind, right, full disclosure, I'm an 18 to 20 right now. My arse is probably a 20. I've got clothes in my wardrobe that are between, no word of a lie, a size 10, granted, it's a shawl, but it still fucking counts. All right?
It's still in there. Fuck off.
Still in there. Fuck off. If I've got a size 10, it means I'm a size 10. Right? So I've got clothes that range from a size 10, I think, to a size 22.
Right.
But I bought that size 22 when I was a 16, so what the fuck's up with that?
Yeah.
And it still fits me. It's stretchy, as you can imagine. But still, like, I think that just goes to show the disparity of clothing.
Yeah. The numbers do not make any sense. So, in one shop I've been a 14.
Oh, yeah.
And in another shop, 20.
Yeah.
So you fucking tell me.
Yeah.
I've not changed that much.
No.
In like 6 months.
No, you haven't.
Who's putting that many dress sizes on in 6 months?
Well, this is it.
So, yeah, clothes really are meant to fit you.
Yeah.
Not the other way around. You are not supposed to fit in a certain size.
I tell you what.
The lies anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And I tell you what, I think that's what fucks you up when you're younger and you think you're getting fat because naturally you grow and obviously you're going to go up in sizes.
Yep.
And then you think the whole world's crumbling apart because you've gone from an 8 to a 10 at age 12 or whatever.
Also, stop beating yourself up over not being the same size that you were when you were 18.
You can't, some people are the same size as what they were when they were 18. There is nothing wrong with that.
No, there's nothing wrong with it. But, I mean, just in general, that's not how life works.
No.
You are now a fully grown woman.
Yeah.
Or man.
Yeah, and you might have had kids.
Yeah.
As well. That's fucking crazy. Your body's going to change. There is nothing wrong with being fat or not fat or just you. Like, you're fine.
Yeah.
As long as you can still, like, do stuff and live your life.
As long as you feel alright.
Yeah,
feel good in
actually.
yourself.
Yeah, as long as you feel okay.
Yeah.
Fuck what anyone else thinks. If you feel alright, you crack on.
Absolutely.
It's nobody else's business.
No, just tell them to fuck off.
Yeah.
That's sage advice, that. Just tell them to fuck off. To be fair, I think that probably concludes this particular yappening.
Oh, I would say so.
Yeah?
So
we're feeling good?
Yeah, so we'll see you next time.
We will. We will be back shortly.
Very shortly.
Bye.
Love you, bye. Because I'm fat.
Because I'm fat and I sweat. Leave me alone.